Welcome to Calm Storytime, a place where forgotten gods wander through the night, where ancient echoes still whisper, and where lost dreams linger like falling stars. Tonight, we invite you to step into a world where the wind carries the last words of the unseen, where rivers hold the tears of those who were forgotten, and where time keeps the final seconds before goodbyes that were never said. From the lanterns that glow with souls who were never noticed, to the mirrors that reflect faces we lost to time, each story is a reminder that even though some voices are forgotten, they still linger in the rustle of leaves, in the sigh of the wind, in the ticking of a clock that never truly stopped. So close your eyes, take a deep breath, and let the night carry you through the world of the forgotten gods. For in this place, where echoes sing and shadows weep, every lost voice can still be heard. The bell of unheard cries. In the world that once was, where gods heard every sound, and every cry echoed through the heavens, there was a god named Elar. Elar was the god of sound, but not the joyful songs or the gentle whispers. He was the keeper of the bell of unheard cries, a bell that rang once every 100 years, carrying the cries of those who were never heard. Each night, as the stars flickered like distant voices and the wind sang through the mountains, Ayla would sit by the bell, his eyes closed, his hands resting on the cold metal. Inside the bell, the cries of the forgotten echoed softly, each one a voice that was lost, each one a word that was never answered. Tonight the air is thick with silence, the night heavy with unspoken words. Elar closes his eyes, his fingers tracing the bell's surface, its metal cool beneath his touch. "It is time," he whispers, his breath fogging the night air. Elar raises the mallet, his heart heavy, his eyes brimming with tears. With a single swing, the bell rings, a deep, mournful sound that shakes the earth and ripples through the sky. A child's voice drifts through the air, trembling like a leaf in the wind. "I called for you," the voice says, "but no one came." Another's voice echoes, soft and broken. "I cried your name," she says, "but you never heard me." A lover's voice sighs, its tone filled with regret. "I whispered I loved you," the voice says, "but the wind carried it away." Elar falls to his knees, his hands clutching the ground, his heart breaking. For centuries he has kept these cries, each one a voice that was lost to the wind, each one a word that was drowned in silence. The bell falls silent, the air growing still, the night growing cold. Elar presses his forehead to the bell, his tears slipping down its surface. "I hear you," he whispers. "I hear you all." The wind blows softly, the air carrying the last echoes away like falling leaves. And as Elar stands and walks away, he knows that even though some cries go unheard, they never truly disappear, for they linger in the air, in the silence of the night, in the deep, mournful sound of a bell that will ring again in 100 years.
The bell tolls softly, the echoes run deep, cries of the lost drift like tears through the sleep. Rest now, dreamer, for some cries never end. They just wait to be found.
The Gatekeeper of Lost Paths. In the world that once was, where gods guarded the doors between worlds and paths led to forgotten places, there was a god named Thalos. Talos was the gatekeeper of lost paths, paths that vanished when those who walked them were forgotten. Each night, as the mist rolled in and the air grew heavy with silence, Talos would stand before the gate, a towering archway made of stone and bone. Beyond the gate lay a world of lost paths, each one leading to a memory, a moment, a life that was never found again. Tonight, the air is thick with fog, the gate shrouded in mist. Talos stands before it, his eyes dark, his shoulders heavy. He raises his hand, the key cold in his palm, his heart pounding. For those who seek what was lost, he whispers, enter. The gate creaks open, its hinges groaning like old bones. Beyond, paths wind through a forest where trees whisper the names of those who were forgotten. Thalos steps inside, the mist swirling around him like ghostly fingers. The first path leads to a boy named Remy, who vanished on a summer day. His path is overgrown with weeds, his footprints erased by time. Thalos kneels down, his fingers brushing the ground. L'ami, he whispers, where did you go? The wind howls, the trees sway, and a single, soft voice drifts through the air. I called for you, the voice says, its tone breaking, but no one came. Thalos closes his eyes, his heart heavy. He moves to the next path, a woman named Leda, who wandered into the forest and never returned. Her path is covered in vines, her steps swallowed by the earth. Leda, Talos whispers, his breath fogging the air. Are you here? The wind grows colder, the mist thickening, and another voice drifts through the air. I waited for you, the voice says, its tone filled with sorrow, but you never came. Talos falls to his knees, his hands clutching the earth, his tears slipping down his cheeks. For centuries, he has guarded these paths, each one a road to a memory that was never reclaimed, each one a door to a life that was never found. The gate creaks shut, the mist dissipates, the night falls silent. Thalos presses his forehead to the ground, his breath shaky, his heart aching. And as the wind howls and the paths disappear into the fog, he knows that even though some roads are lost, they are never truly gone, for they linger in the mist, in the whispers of the wind, in the echo of a gate that never truly closes.
The gate creaks open, the mist drips away. Voices of the lost call through the Rest now, wanderer. Let the path sing to you. For some roads never end, they just wait to be found.
The Keeper of Broken Promises. In the world that once was, where gods held time in their hands and moments slipped away like sand, there was a god named Kronos. Kronos was the keeper of time, but more than that, he was the keeper of broken promises, moments that froze when words were left unspoken. Each night, when the world fell silent and the stars hung heavy in the sky, Kronos would walk through his hall of clocks. Each clock held a moment that had been broken, a promise that was never kept, a vow that was never fulfilled. Tonight, the air is thick with silence, the clocks ticking softly like whispers. Kronos moves through the hall, his long silver hair trailing behind him, his eyes heavy with the weight of centuries. He stops before a clock that glows with soft, golden light. Inside, a young man named Eric stands on the edge of a bridge, his arms wrapped around a girl named Lyra. "I'll come back for you," Eric says, his eyes fierce. "I promise." Lyra nods, her eyes brimming with tears. "I'll wait for you," she whispers, her hands clutching his coat. But the clock's hands never move. The moment is frozen. Eric's never came back. And Lyra waited until her last breath. Kronos closes his eyes, his fingers brushing the glass, his heart heavy. For centuries, he has kept these moments. Each one a broken promise, each one a second that never moved forward. He moves to the next clock, its glass cracked, its hands trembling. Inside, a father stands at his son's bedside, his eyes full of regret. "I'll come home soon," he says, his voice breaking. "I promise." But the clock is silent, the hands unmoving. The father never came home, and the son never woke up. Kronos presses his hand to the glass, his eyes filled with sorrow. "If I could give them back their time," he whispers, "I would." The hall grows colder, the clocks ticking louder, each one a heartbeat frozen in time. Kronos steps back, his breath fogging the air, and as he walks away, he knows that even though some promises are broken, their moments still linger, trapped in the ticking of a clock, in the silence between seconds, in the hour that never came.
The clock ticks backward, the seconds run thin. Promises broken, echo like wind. Close your eyes, little one, let the time carry you through. For some moments never end, they just wait to break through.
The Lantern of Unseen Souls. In the world that once was, where gods walked the earth and light held the whispers of the lost, there was a goddess named Leora. Leora was the goddess of light, but not the light of the sun or stars. She was the keeper of the Lantern of Unseen Souls, a lantern that glowed with the spirits of those who were never seen, never known, never remembered. Each night, as the world fell into darkness and the wind grew cold, Leora would walk through the forest, her lantern swinging at her side. Inside the lantern, tiny flames flickered like fireflies, each one a soul that had been forgotten. Tonight the wind howls, the trees sway, the night is heavy with the scent of rain. Leora walks through the woods, her steps soft, her eyes heavy with sorrow. She raises the lantern, its light glowing softly, its glass fogging with the breath of the unseen. Inside, a tiny flame flickers, its light dim and weak. Leora closes her eyes, her hand resting on the glass. "Who are you?" she whispers. "What do you wish to say?" The flame flares, its light growing stronger, and a single soft voice drifts through the air, a voice that trembles like a leaf in the wind. "I was never seen," the voice says, its tone breaking. "I was never heard." Leora's eyes fill with tears, her heart aching. For centuries, she has carried these souls, those who died alone, those who were never noticed, those whose names were never spoken. Leora continues to walk, her lantern casting soft, warm light through the trees. Inside, the flames dance, each one a voice, each one a memory. "I was just a shadow," one voice whispers, its flame flickering. "No one knew my name," another voice sighs, its light growing weaker. Leora stops at the edge of a cliff, the wind whipping her hair, the night falling deeper. She raises the lantern, its light brightening, its glass glowing like a tiny sun. "I see you," Leora says, her voice strong. "I hear you, I remember you." The flames grow stronger, their light filling the forest, each one a tiny star in the dark. And as the wind howls and the trees sway, Leora knows that even though some souls were unseen, they are never truly forgotten, for they linger in the light, in the glow of a lantern, in the warmth of a flame that never goes out.
The lantern glows softly, its light holds the lost. Whispers of unseen souls drift like frost. Rest now, dreamer, let the light carry you through. For some souls never fade, they just wait to be known. The lantern glows softly, its light holds the lost. Whispers of unseen souls drift like frost. Rest now, dreamer, let the light carry you through. For some souls never fade, they just wait to be known.
The mirror of forgotten faces. In the world that once was, where gods held reflections and mirrors carried memories, there was a goddess named Nyx. Nyx was the goddess of mirrors, but not just any mirrors. She was the keeper of the mirror of forgotten faces, a mirror that held the reflections of those whose names were lost to time. Each night, as the moon rose high and the night deepened, Nyx would sit before the mirror, her eyes fixed on the glass, her heart heavy. Inside the mirror, faces drifted like mists, faces of those who had been forgotten, faces of those who had vanished without a trace. Tonight the air is thick with silence, the sky heavy with clouds. Nyx sits before the mirror, her silver hair falling like a curtain over her shoulders. She leans forward, her breath fogging the glass. "Show me," she whispers. "Show me those who are lost." The glass ripples, the surface shimmering like water. One by one, faces begin to appear. A child with dark eyes and a shy smile. A man with tired eyes and a worn coat. A woman with tears streaming down her face. Nyx closes her eyes, her hands trembling as the voices echo through the room. "Where am I?" the child whispers, his voice breaking. "I can't find my way home." "Did anyone remember me?" the man asks, his eyes searching. "Or was I just a shadow?" "I called out for you," the woman sobs, her hands reaching out. "But you never came." Nyx presses her hands to the glass, her heart aching, her breath shaking. For centuries, she has kept these faces, each one a life that was lost, each one a name that was forgotten. The mirror's surface darkens, the faces fading, the glass growing cold. Nyx lowers her head, her tears slipping down her cheeks. "I see you," she whispers, her voice breaking. "I remember you." The mirror shivers, the glass glowing softly, the faces appearing one last time, their eyes wide, their smiles gentle, their whispers drifting through the air like falling leaves. Nyx closes her eyes, her heart heavy, her breath warm against the cold glass. And as the mirror falls still and the night deepens, she knows that even though some faces are forgotten, they are never truly lost, for they linger in the glass, in the whispers of the night, in the reflection of a mirror that remembers when no one else does.
The glass holds the whispers, the face is long gone. Memories linger like a forgotten song. Close your eyes, dreamer, let the mirror carry you through. For some faces never fade, they just wait to be known. Da 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 da.
The River of Lost Tears. In the world that once was, where gods roamed the earth and rivers carried whispers, there was a goddess named Nerea. Nerea was the goddess of the river, but not just any river. She was the keeper of the River of Lost Tears, a river that carried the last tears shed by those who had lost someone they loved. Each night, when the moon hung low and the stars wept silver, Nerea would walk the banks of the river, her bare feet touching the cool water. In her hands she held a net woven from the hair of the lost, a net that glowed like moonlight. Tonight, the river flows quietly, the water shimmering with tiny, glowing pearls, each one a tear, each one a memory. Nerea kneels by the riverbank, her eyes closed, her hands reaching into the water. She pulls out a single glowing pearl. It's light, warm, and soft. Inside the pearl, a memory plays. A woman sitting alone in the dark, her tears falling into her empty hands. "I miss you," she whispers, her voice breaking. "I don't know how to say goodbye." Nerea closes her eyes, her heart heavy. For centuries she has gathered these tears, each one a last goodbye, each one a moment frozen in time. The river flows on, its water carrying countless pearls, each one holding a lost tear, a lost word, a lost love. Nerea stands, her net full of glowing pearls, her eyes fixed on the water. But tonight the river is different. Tonight a single black pearl drifts toward her, its surface dark and cold, its light dim. Nerea gasps, her heart pounding as she reaches for it. This pearl is different. It is her own. Inside she sees herself, standing alone on the riverbank, her eyes full of tears, her voice a soft, broken whisper. "Mother," she says, her voice trembling. "Where did you go?" The pearl slips from her fingers, falling back into the river, its light fading as it drips away. Nerea collapses to her knees, her tears falling into the water, her sobs echoing through the night. And as the river flows on, the pearls continue to drift by, each one a lost word, a lost dream, a lost love. Nerea presses her hands to her heart, her breath shaky, her tears warm. And as the wind blows and the river sings, she knows that even though some tears are lost, they are never truly forgotten, for they linger in the water, in the river's song, in the glow of a pearl that never truly fades.
The river flows softly, each drop a goodbye. Tears of the lost drift like stars through the sky. Rest now, wanderer, let the river sing to you. For some tears never dry, they just wait to be found.
The Timekeeper's Hourglass. In the world that once was, where gods held time in their hands, and moments lingered like falling sand, there was a god named Kairos. Eros was the timekeeper, the one who held the hourglass of the last moments, the seconds that slipped away, when goodbyes were never said. Each night, as the moon hung low and the stars drifted through the sky, Kairos would sit alone in his tower of clocks. In his hands, he held the hourglass of last moments, an hourglass filled with the final seconds before a goodbye that was never said. Tonight, the air is thick with silence, the tower filled with the soft, steady ticking of clocks. Kairos turns the hourglass over, the sand falling slowly, each grain a word that was never spoken, each grain a second that was lost. He closes his eyes, his heart heavy, his breath shallow. "Show me," he whispers, "show me what was lost." The sand swirls, the grains shimmering like stars. Inside the hourglass, a scene begins to unfold. A woman stands in a doorway, her eyes filled with tears, her hands clutching a letter. "I was going to say goodbye," she whispers, "but he left before I could." The sand falls faster, the scene shifting, the moment slipping away. The boy stands by his father's bedside, his eyes wide, his hands trembling. "I was going to tell him I loved him," the boy says, his voice breaking. But he never woke up. Kiros gasps, his fingers clutching the hourglass, his heart pounding. For centuries he has held these moments, the last seconds before a goodbye that was never said, the last breaths that were never heard. The sand falls slower, the last grain tumbling down, the last moment slipping away. Kairos lowers the hourglass, his eyes filled with tears. "I hear you," he whispers. "I remember you." The clocks tick softly, the hourglass growing still, the sand settling like fallen stars. And as Kiro stands and walks away, he knows that even though some moments are lost, they are never truly gone, for they linger in the ticking of a clock, in the falling of sand, in the seconds that never truly ended.
The sand falls slowly, the seconds slip by, whispers of lost time drift like stars through the sky. Close your eyes, dreamer, let the hourglass sing to you. For some moments never end, they just wait to come true.
The Weeping Tree. In the world that once was, where gods wandered the forests and dreams took root in the ground, there was a goddess named Selene. Selene was the goddess of the trees, but not just any trees. She was the keeper of the Weeping Tree, a tree that grew from the unfulfilled dreams of those who never saw their wishes come true. Each night, as the moon rose and the wind whispered through the branches, Selene would sit beneath the weeping tree, her eyes closed, her heart heavy. The tree's leaves glowed softly, each one a dream that was never realized, each one a wish that was never spoken aloud. Tonight, the wind howls, the leaves rustle like voices, the night is cold and dark. Selene leans against the trunk, her hair falling over her shoulders like a veil. She closes her eyes, her hand resting against the bark. "Tell me," she whispers, "what do you wish for?" The tree shivers, its branches creaking, its leaves trembling like tears. One by one, the leaves begin to fall, each one glowing softly, each one holding a dream that was never fulfilled. Selene reaches out, her hands catching a single leaf. Inside, a young boy sits alone by a window, his eyes fixed on the night sky. "I wish to see my father again," he whispers, his voice breaking. "Just once." Selene's eyes fill with tears, her heart aching. For centuries, she has watched these leaves grow, each one a dream that withered and died. Each one a wish that never came true. Another leaf drifts down, its edges glowing like a fading star. Inside, a woman stands in a field of flowers, her arms reaching out. I wish to hold my child, she says, her voice trembling. Just one last time. Selene sobs, her tears falling onto the ground, her hands trembling. I can't make your wishes come true, she whispers, but I can remember you. The leaves continue to fall, each one glowing softly as it drifts to the ground. Selene kneels beneath a tree, her hands pressing against the earth, and as the wind howls and the leaves dance through the night, she knows that even though some dreams never come true, they still linger in the rustle of leaves, in the whispers of the wind, in the glow of a tree that weeps for those who were forgotten.
Just wait to come true. The leaves sing softly, the branches sway low. Whispers of dreams that were never let go. Close your eyes, wander. Let the trees sing to you, for some dreams never end. They just wait to come true.
The wind's last whisper. In the world that once was, where God still roamed the skies and walked the earth, there was a god of the wind named Zephyr. Zephyr was not the god of storms or gales. He was the keeper of whispers, the collector of last words. Each night, as the world fell silent and the wind howled through the mountains, Zephyr would drift through the air, listening. He listened for the words that were never spoken, the goodbyes that were never said, the whispers that were carried away by the wind. Tonight, the wind is strong, the sky heavy with clouds. Zephyr floats above the world, his form made of mist and moonlight, his ears filled with the voices of the lost. He drifts through a village, his hands outstretched, the whispers swirling around him like silver threads. I never meant to leave, a man's voice says, soft and broken. Forgive me, a woman sobs, her words lost to the night. I love you, a child whispers, his voice fading into the wind. Zephyr closes his eyes, his heart heavy. For centuries he has carried these words, these last whispers that were never heard. And for centuries he has kept them safe, each one a tiny star, each one a moment frozen in time. Zephyr moves on, the wind growing colder, the sky darkening. He drifts toward a small cottage on the edge of the village. its windows dark, its door slightly open. Inside, a young girl named Mira sleeps, her brow furrowed, her breath shallow. Her brother Luca vanished in a storm 3 months ago. His last words lost to the wind. Zephyr steps inside, his form drifting like fog through the room. He leans over Mira, his hand outstretched, his fingers made of wind and mist. "Mira," he whispers, his voice soft as a lullaby. "Listen." The air grows still, the wind calms, and a single, soft voice drifts through the room. A voice Mira knows too well. "Mira," the voice says, warm and close. "I never left." Mira's eyes flutter open, her tears slipping down her cheeks. "Luca," she whispers, her voice breaking. "Is that you?" But the wind howls, the night grows colder, and the voice fades like a feather in the wind. Zephyr steps back, his heart heavy, his hands full of last words, words that were never said, whispers that were never heard. And as he drifts back into the night, he knows that even though some words are lost to the wind, they never truly disappear, for they linger in the air, in the rustle of leaves, in the sigh of the wind, waiting to be heard by those who still remember.
Carries words lost and unheard, whispers of broken vows drift like birds. Close your eyes, dreamer. Let the wind sing you through. For some words never fade, they just wait to come true.
Thank you for joining us tonight on Calm Story Time, a place where forgotten gods still watch over us, where echoes sing through the wind, and where dreams linger like falling stars. Tonight, we walk through the world of the unseen, from the whispers carried by the wind to the tears that flow through ancient rivers. We heard the cries of those who were never heard, the words of those who were never found, the moments that slipped away like sand through a timekeeper's hand. But even though the stories have ended and the night grows still, the echoes remain, soft and haunting, waiting to be heard by those who still remember. So as you close your eyes and drift into sleep, know that even in the silence, even in the dark, some voices never fade, some faces never vanish, and some goodbyes are never truly said. Good night, dreamer. May the whispers of the forgotten gods carry you to a place where every lost voice finds its way home.
drift like stars through the sky. Close your eyes, dreamer, let the hourglass sing. For some moments never end, they just wait to come true. The wind carries words lost and unheard, whispers of broken vows drift like birds. Close your eyes, dreamer, let the wind sing you through. For some words never fade, they just wait to come true. The bell tolls softly, the echoes run deep, cries of the lost drift like tears through the sleep. Rest now, dreamer. Let the bell sing to you. For some cries never end, they just wait to be found. wait to be found. The clock ticks backward, the seconds run thin. Promises broken, echo like wind. Close your eyes, little one, let the time carry you through. For some moments never end, they just wait to break through. The lantern glows softly. Its light holds the lost. Whispers of unseen souls drift like frost. Rest now, dreamer, let the light carry you through. For some souls never fade, they just wait to to be known. The glass holds the whispers, the face is long gone. Memories linger like a forgotten song. Close your eyes, dreamer, let the mirror carry you through. For some faces never fade, they just wait to be known. The river flows softly, each drop a goodbye. Tears of the lost drift like stars through the sky. Rest now, wanderer, let the river sing to you. For some tears never dry, they just wait to be found. Tears